welcome you to lower downtown Denver. A pretty Saturday afternoon and a great day for baseball. Rockies and Brewers getting set. Game 2 of this 3-game set. The Rockies fell yesterday 9-5 to the Brew Crew. First loss against Milwaukee this year. They swept them at Miller Park to begin the season. Chad Bettis making his way to the Coors Field mound. Bettis, in his first 5 starts this year, the Rockies were 5-0. He's gone 5 innings in each of his last 2, both losses for Colorado, so looking to bounce back. He'll be taking on Milwaukee for the first time. And at the top of their lineup typically is Carlos Gomez, again still nursing a leg injury. He's getting closer to good health, but it'll be Gene Segura once again leading off, and he'll be at shortstop. Here's the rest of Craig Counsell's lineup, presented by Southwest.com. Book your low fare now at Southwest.com. Geraldo Parra will bat second. Ryan Braun hit a home run in the first inning yesterday as the Brewers broke on top 3-0. Adam Lind didn't play yesterday. Shane Peterson will hit behind the former Blue Jay. Scooter Gennett will be at second base. Hernan Perez will be at third base. Martin Maldonado will do the catching, so Jonathan Lucroy will have the afternoon off. And the veteran Kyle Loesch is on the mound. Well, Chad Bettis has intriguing stuff, George, and he has the makeup you want in a starting pitcher. He's got some bulldog in him.
He does have the bulldog in him, and I think that's why you watch his stats and you look first time through the opposition 279. Second time 204, third time 188. You let him get deeper into the game and he will control your lineup very well. Hopefully today has that great start on Tavis Strand's birthday today, as our producer celebrating here at the ballpark.
Happy birthday, Tavis. Let a whole lot of us know. So we're going to buy him that new car that he wanted. Well, we just didn't get it done in time.
But that's all right. He bought Sue, his beautiful bride, a new lawnmower, so everything's even.
I did not know that. That's interesting news. Gene Segura is going to lead things off, and he comes in at a 273 clip. 2 for his last 17. First pitch of the ball game's a little bit high from Bettis at 92.
And as I watched the ball game in Houston when Chad started theirs, they seemed to ambush the fastball early, very early in counts.
Yes, they did. That's in there. I also thought his velocity was down a tick from what we'd seen in his previous few starts.
90-92 for early in the ball game. It got a little higher as the game went along.
That's a good looking pitch right there. That's cut to it at 92, and it's 1-2.
It's all about command, regardless of the velocity. If you're down in the zone, you're hitting your spots, you'll get out.
He's working with Mike McHenry this afternoon. Here's the 1-2, and that was in that same location. This at 94 miles an hour. Let's break down the arsenal of Chad Bettis.
Yeah, you take a look at it. He's going to rely mostly on his fastball that he likes to use at 53% of the time. The curve change slider least that he likes to use, but I think the cut fastball has played into his success.
Another 1-2. And that pitch also well located.
And that's the kind of a bat that drives you a little bit crazy, because you're making nasty pitches and they just keep fouling off, fouling off, fouling off. And a pesky guy in a leadoff spot.
With a plus fastball, would you think here, put yourself back on the mound, you've gone down, 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 raise the eye level right here, George?
Well, you got to depend on who's hitting. If he's quick inside, you got to be careful to do it. You get a hold of a guy, say, going back in my time and era, a guy like Robin Yount or a guy Paul Molitor that are really quick inside. You think you can elevate it and get it in there, and all of a sudden they turn on it and hit a double down in the corner. So it's who's at the plate. Segura's fairly quick on the inner half, but you've given him all fastball.
And that's another fastball with, again, a lot of cut movement to it, moving away from that right-handed hitter. And the velocity back up where we've seen it most of the year. Those last couple of pitches, 94.
We're going to have to go rub up another bag of balls. Shane's going to have to go get busy again.
Well, Bettis kind of throwing like Youngman did yesterday. Youngman was proud of his fastball, and Taylor Youngman, I think at one point, threw 31 straight fastballs. 2-2. And he got it with a slider. Good looking pitch from Bettis. Nice sequence. And the Rockies have the first out in the book.
Good battle going on between Segura and Bettis Wins it. Comes back, hard slider, not the curveball, but the slider out of the zone. He got Segura to chase it.
Yeah, good hitter coming up. Gerardo Parra hitting .284 overall. .314 lifetime hitter against the Rockies. He's been swinging it quite well since he's been playing every day. That pitch down and in, good spot. Parra's a guy, George, that you hear this reference. He's a real handsy hitter.
Well, he can flip his hands out to left field, drive the ball a little bit stronger than what people think he is. Yeah, you did.
You loved that when the umpire did that, right?
Sure, I loved it. He used to yell it out of the dugout. Yeah, he did.
Doug Eddings is our home plate umpire this afternoon. Jim Wolf's at first, Adrian Johnson at second, Bill Miller at third. 2-strike count on Parra just underway on a sun-splashed Saturday afternoon, and this ball's punched foul.
One of those handsy swings you're talking about. That's how guys keep at bats alive for a while. Able to flip a lot of those. Todd Helton was a master at it.
Good crowd yesterday, in excess of 35,000. Nice gathering this afternoon, and this ball lobbed to center field, and it's going to be a base hit. He got it off the end of the bat on a curveball. So a one-out knock for Parra. Let's take a look at the Rockies' defense. Brandon Barnes has been a fixture in left field. Charlie's in center, and Cargo is in right. Daniel Descalso giving Troy a day off at shortstop. Nolan's in there. DJ at second base. Willeen Rosario at first base. And the aforementioned Michael McHenry doing the catching this afternoon. McConnelly worked last night. So here's Ryan Braun. Just 2 for his last 27, but he blistered a ball to dead center yesterday against Jorge De La Rosa on the first pitch he saw from De La Rosa. 2-run shot. And this is a high pop-up. This is tough with that sky. Here comes Charlie, and he makes the catch.
By the way, one little minor league note. Tyler Matzik trying to make the road back to the big leagues. Pitched an inning of relief yesterday at Boise. 1 inning, no hits. He did walk a couple, and he struck out 1. No runs involved.
Yeah, had a double play behind him. A small step, and that's what you're looking for. Small steps right now to get things back in line. And for him, George, most of it's between the ears.
99% of it.
2 outs, and Parra at first base. This is Adam Lind. If you recall that first series of the year, which went splendidly well for the Rockies in Milwaukee, the only guy that did any kind of damage for the Brewers was Adam Lind. Adam Lind was 6 for 10 in that series against the Rockies, and he went on to have a really good April. In fact, he was the Brewers Player of the Month in April. There goes Parra, and McHenry has it pop out of his glove as he was trying to make the transition, and it'll be a stolen base for Parra.
Would-be day stealers now 2 of 24. And he's been able to throw out this year. That ball come up out of the grip in his glove. No throw.
4th stolen base for Parra without being caught. And now it's 2-0. Lind hit .333 with 4 home runs, 13 driven in April. Just .217 in May. June's been better for him, .276. .2-0, and that's way outside. Lind is hitless in his last 13 at bats, though. Man, it's a game of streaks. I don't care who you are. You're going to be hot, you're going to be cold, you're going to be somewhere in between. So Bettis, this looks like he pitched around Lind. Got a force all around, and Shane Peterson, who swung the bat well yesterday's coming up.
The intentional, unintentional walk. 4 heaters off the plate and out of the zone. If you want to chase, chase. If not, you go to first base, and I'll go after Peterson. Now you just got to make your pitch and get out of the inning.
Peterson 3 for 4 yesterday. Also reached on a walk, drove in a couple. And this is to Descalso, and he'll flip to second. Nice play by Daniel, and that ends the inning. So no harm done, a single and a walk, and we'll see the Rockies on offense, see if they can get a jump on Milwaukee here early. Bottom of the first inning, Drew Goodman, George Frazier, and Mark Stout. Charlie Blackmon will lead things off for the Rockies. And here is the lineup for Colorado this afternoon. Book your low fare now at Southwest.com. DJ will bat in the 2 spot, then Cargo will bat third. Nolan Arenado slides up a spot as well with Tulowitzki out of there. Willeen Rosario will bat 5th, then McHenry, Descalso, Barnes, and Bettis against Kyle Loesch, who's had a wonderful career, but it's not been a wonderful year for Loesch. And it started out poorly, and it's kind of continued. The Rockies really beat him up opening day.
Yeah, they did beat him up opening day, and it hasn't got much better since. 86.44 earned run average in 79 innings. Highest is 6.44 ERA, is the highest in the National League. Among starters, 94 hits, tied for 5th, 16 home runs, 2nd behind Kyle Kendrick. 57 earned runs, the most. The opposition's average at 295, 3rd highest. So when you paint that picture, it should work out well for the Rockies.
Yeah, they need to produce a crooked number offensively. They need a laugh or two, because not only have they lost 9 of their last 10, but many of those games they were kind of out of it very early.
Last 15 games, or I should say May 15th was the last time Loesch won a ball game. He's had 6 starts since then, 0-4, 731 earned run average.
Mentioned this in the open. That's one way to stay cool this afternoon. The Rockies have scored first in a game just once in their last 11 encounters, and that was last Sunday in Miami. And what happened? They ended up winning. 1-2, and this ball line, but it's right at Braun. Let's take a look at Milwaukee defensively this afternoon. Shane Peterson has played a very good left field. Gerardo Parra, normally a corner outfielder, but he has the ability to play in the middle. That's where he is. Ryan Braun moved from left to right last year. Hernan Perez will be at third base. That's his natural position. Gene Segura steady. Scooter Gennett at second, Adam Lind at first, and Martin Maldonado's always been a solid number 2 catcher.
Now, this year struggled 6 pass balls, but he has been very good. Secondary catcher, has always thrown the ball extremely well. Guys like to throw to him as far as receiving the baseball.
Kyle Loesch with 145 career victories. 9 games over 500.
A lot of victories, folks. You don't. People realize 08 to 014 or 2014, he was 79 and 54.
It's 27 and 27 in a Milwaukee uniform. Last year he went 13 and 9 with a 3.54 ERA. Again, the Brewers were really good for 5 months last year, and he was in the middle of it. That's a comebacker. So 2 outs, nobody on, and we'll see Cargo for the first time. Cargo held hitless yesterday. He was 0 for 4. A couple of ground outs, a fly out, and a strikeout. Rockies lost 9-5. They had 11 hits. Problem is they gave up 17. Actually, let me correct that. 16. Third time this year Milwaukee's had 16 hits in a game. Milwaukee does not completely shift against Cargo as most teams do. Segura is playing virtually up the middle, but he's still on the left side of second base. Cargo, great numbers against Loesch in his career. 388 average with a home run.
Yeah, another guy, great numbers, Tulowitzki, but he's not in the lineup today.
Tulo has great numbers, period, against Milwaukee, over 400 in his lifetime.
385 against Loesch with a home run.
1-1. And this is going to be in the dugout, fortunately, and not in play for Maldonado or Perez. So it's 1-2. Cargo frustrated, couldn't hold up. So Loesch works a 1-2-3 first. We'll go to the second, no score. Sports is brought to you by your hometown Toyota stores. Let's go places. By Bud Light, stay in the game and drink responsibly. And by Southwest Airlines, book your low fare now at southwest.com.
Hey, the Bird's back. He came in last night into play. Let's get him in play tonight.
You know what?
Yeah, fly.
He flies really well.
Yeah.
First pitch to Scooter Jeanette's in there, strike one. Jeanette struggled in April. In fact, he was sent down. They thought he was going to be their everyday second baseman. Had quick success in the big leagues. He's behind 0-2. He got sent down to Colorado Springs. Still getting used to saying that. Colorado Springs is Milwaukee's AAA affiliate. Swung the bat well there. And got recalled, but he's now in a platoon situation. Didn't play against De La Rosa, the left-hander, yesterday. That was close. 1-2. He was hitting just 154 when he was sent out on May the 17th. Slightly above 300 since his return. Curveball's blocked. 2-2. Descalso on the right side comes and gets it. 1 out. Hernan Perez coming up.
See, you call him Perez or Perez, and I'm going to call him Perez, all right?
I'm just calling him by what he requested the Milwaukee broadcasters.
I don't do Milwaukee games. I do Rocket games. I do the Rockies.
I'm going to call you when
you call me Jorge all you want.
I'm going to call you George.
But you got to call me Frachier behind.
That's what you were when you played winter ball, right?
Yeah, Jorge Frachier.
Yes, he did. Do it, George. Yes, he did.
I don't think he went around you. I think it was called a strike by your home plate umpire today, Doug Eddings.
All right. I thought he went around anyhow. 0-2. And this is a soft liner. Nice play, DJ.
Very good
that
angle.
wasn't that easy. That was not that easy.
He took a great angle to the baseball when it was hit. A lot of guys may have tried to cut that off short thinking they could get to it. DJ read it off of the bat, immediately took his angle going into the outfield, and then positioned himself to make the strong throw to first, and they get him.
We know what kind of range he has, but in particular, going to his left, he is as good as any second baseman, I think, in the game.
That's why you got to go glove.
You know, it's neat too. You know, fans see DJ and pretty stoic, and he's that way around the cage. And every once in a while, we've seen it the last couple of days, some emotion comes out outwardly, and you realize what kind of fire burns inside number 9.
Yeah, he cares.
Big time.
Looked like half the team went with the high socks today, huh? McHenry. Left side of the infield, the outfield. I guess Blackman and Cargo and Rosario didn't get the memo. High sock day. Got to break it. Got to win a ball game. Got to play good. Change it up a little bit.
He played in a couple organizations where it had to be uniform. I know the Yankees and St. Louis,
yeah,
right?
5 stripes in St. Louis had to be shown. The Yankees, the stirrups were to be seen.
And you know what? I'm kind of that way. I'm looking out there, and I think whatever way you go, it should be the same.
I kind of agree that way, but that's, you know. Allen may have ran out of short pants.
On the ground to Descalso. And nice throw by Daniel. Really strong inning for Chad Bennett. 3 groundouts. We'll go to the bottom of the second. No score. Rockies and Brewers from Coors Field. Rockies. Who wants tacos? When the Rockies score 7 or more, you know the drill. Go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Live Moss at Taco Bell. You know, I said Mark Stout was with us earlier because I'm so used to saying that. Mark's got the day off, actually. Mark, I hope you're enjoying yourself. Nolan will be followed by Willeen Rosario and then Michael McHenry.
See, that's the pitch he's got to get, even though it's a ball. Dallas Keuchel told me the other day, he said, I got so many pitches off the plate in that start against the Rockies, I decided to live out there.
Well, he was getting called strikes 2-3 inches off the plate. This ball unloaded left center or right center field, and it's going to short hop the wall. Arenado into second with a leadoff double. He also has an 8-game hitting streak going. Stay warm, Nolan. Well, George, he went away, and Nolan took it that direction.
He absolutely took it that direction because that's where he's going to go with the pitch. It's not a cut fastball. It's a regular fastball at 90. Nolan does an excellent job of the ball away from him, taking advantage to the right center field gap, and he took advantage with a double hit.
So here's the baby bull, Willeen Rosario. 3 for 9 lifetime against Loesch, and he takes the ball outside. With that extra base hit, Nolan now has 35 extra base hits, which is tied for 5th most in the National League. That's a fair ball. And it'll move the runner up to third base. So Arenado at third with 1 out. Let's go back to opening day. Rockies would win 10-0, and they got all over Kyle Loesch. Cargo went opposite field. Dickerson went deep. It was a short outing for Loesch. 10 hits, 8 runs. I don't think you can have a better debut than the Rockies had in Milwaukee this year. Great series. Unfortunately, they've hit some rough times. 11 games under 500. This ball is smothered to center field and deep, and it will easily get the run home. Sac fly off the bat of Michael McHenry, and the Rockies have a 1-0 lead for just the second time in the last 12 games. They have the first run of the ball game. For McHenry, his 12th RBI.
He put a lot of slap happy on that fastball. Holy cow.
That was hit hard. Descalso and Loesch were teammates in St. Louis. This ball's hit well the opposite field. It's going to carry to the warning track, but it's gathered in out there by Shane Peterson. That ends the inning. But the Rockies get a run. Nolan Arenado with a double to begin things. Michael McHenry. Chad Bettis has been throwing the baseball well, and he'll have Lotion in the top of the order here in the third for the Brewers. Well, a reminder, you can involve yourself with Toyota Talk. It's pretty simple. Send us your thoughts and photos via Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. Utilize the hashtag Toyota Talk. That's what that gentleman's doing right now, I think. Loesch, a swing and a miss. Chad Bettis is located well so far. We have a special guest in the booth we're going to introduce you to in a moment. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Loesch. In fact, we'll do it right now. Craig Bowles with us, the head coach of the Wyoming Cowboys. Coach, always good to see you. How's everything?
Very good, Drew. It's great to be here. What a great day for baseball.
It's a beautiful day for baseball. And I'm thinking back to my high school days, putting on a helmet on when it was 90+ degrees. Fortunately, because it's pretty warm out today. Nobody having to do that right now in Laramie, but not too far away, huh?
No, it's really not too far away. Typically, when we do some events like this, we recognize that football is not too far away.
DJ throws out Kyle Loesch. What kind of spring practice did you have?
You know what? It was a robust spring practice, and it really helped the fact that our coaching staff had been around a whole year, and we're going to have a new quarterback this next year, and we really think that he's going to have a big impact on our offense. And you know what? The attitude was much better. The attitude in the locker room is better. We got a lay of the land, what the conference is like, and it's going to be an exciting year for the Cowboys.
Well, you reminded him that if he throws the ball to Yarborough, usually good things happen. Did you tell him that?
Yeah, well, you know, we've got a lot of great things ahead of us, and like I said, we're going to open up with the University of North Dakota. It's right around the road, and you know, then we're going to get Mountain West play, and certainly is a competitive league.
That's going to be a base hit up the middle for Gene Segura with 1 out. Well, we all followed you closely with the work you did in North Dakota, and unbelievable record there. And I had a bunch of your games when you were on Coach Solich's staff in Nebraska. You like hard-nosed football,
right?
And that's what you're trying to institute at Wyoming. It takes a while to get that culture fully embedded with the players, doesn't it?
Well, it certainly does, and that comes about if you're going to play Cowboy tough football. That's part of a foundation block that we laid this last year in the spring. We're convinced that that's going to ride for the brand for us to win the Mountain West Conference championship.
It's a really competitive conference. There goes a runner, and the throw is not going to get Gene Segura. And he's got like 1 fingertip left on the bag before he can call timeout. So Segura swipes second bag of the game for Milwaukee. Ninth stolen base for Segura. 0-1 the count on Gerardo Parra. Craig, you a baseball guy?
Well, I certainly am, but not a huge baseball guy. I think typically when you throw yourself into college football for the last 34 years, it occupies a great deal of your time, but it's relaxing to come out to a beautiful venue like this and look at all the fans. I'd heard, we checked the forecast, and they said it was going to be hot and muggy, kind of like Nebraska. Believe me, this is not like Nebraska. What a great day, like I said, for baseball.
Well, the head baseball coach at Nebraska was quite a two-sport player in Lincoln.
Oh, yeah. He certainly was, and he turned out to be an excellent punter for us, and actually came to Nebraska on a baseball scholarship. And Coach Erstad has done a good job with the program there, and always appreciate those guys.
They're going to review this to see if the tag actually got down before the hand hit the base.
Well, it sounds like a reviewable play in football. Typically, I stand over on the side and I talk to a couple of officials. What do you think? What do you think? And they give me their 2 cents worth. And but it has really helped college football. We think there's been a positive impact to have reviewable plays.
Listen, at the end of the day, coaches, players, broadcasters, anybody involved, they just want to see the play be called accurately. It is a Subaru review, whether you're on the road or at the game. Everybody could use a second set of eyes, and that's what we're getting right now in New York. Well, we have a moment. I know you wanted to congratulate this gentleman, very dear friend of mine and ours at Root Sports. Jeff Houston,
Yeah.
one of my partners, is going to the Wyoming Hall of Fame.
You know what? We're certainly excited about inducting him into our Hall of Fame. I mean, there's just been a whole long line of prestigious student athletes, and he certainly is the top of his class. And so we're excited about having him back. I want to send a special shout out to all the things that he did while he was at Laramie, and not only he, but all the rest of the inductees this year.
I love going up to Laramie because there's great tradition, and it's a whole state. It's a whole state that follows the Cowboys come Saturday afternoon or in the winter with Coach Cheyette's club. They had a great run this year as well.
Well, they certainly did. And what's great about Root Sports is that canvases the whole state, the footprint that you have not only in Colorado and New Mexico and through Wyoming. We have a lot of fans, and we appreciate the coverage Root has.
Well, I'm glad you said that. That's a nice promo. We appreciate that. And we're gonna have the Cowboys, I'm sure, a fair number of times, not only during the football season, but basketball as well. We don't have the official schedule, but we will have a number of Mountain West Conference games. And the conference, again, looks to be, especially on this front range, looks to be very competitive again.
Well, it certainly does. And football coaches will debate it back and forth, but we really feel like the strength of the league this last year was in the mountainside.
And I understand your coach's show is going to be with us on Root Sports Thursday nights at 6 p.m. during the football season.
Yeah, thanks for the plug there. I mean, we're excited about that. And that coach's show actually received a national reward for how it was done. And so I think just, the partnership with Root has been excellent, and we appreciate that.
1 out, a 2-strike count on Gerardo Parra. Obviously, Gene Segura, after the review, inconclusive that the tag came prior to his hand reaching the bag, so he's at second. Rockies up 1-0. What else are you excited about when you talk about this football team going into year 2 for you, Craig?
Well, I think the biggest thing is the attitude and the hunger to win. Last year, our guys, there were so many different slots we were having to fill. We have a really good understanding how the conference is out to play and to position ourselves. And so while we don't have a large senior class, the seniors that are there are really bought in. And then along with that, we really believe we've done an excellent job in this last recruiting class. Not only having players, we got 4 players from the Denver area, and we're all the way down into Oklahoma, but guys who are coming to the University of Wyoming to get a meaningful degree from a great land-grant institution and then win the Mountain West Conference Championship. So the look in their eye is excellent.
I've said this many times, and I've said it in basketball and I've said it in football, and I feel like this conference at times nationally is a little underappreciated. You've been a lot of places, and you coach in the Big 12.
Yeah.
You know that conference very well.
Here's an exclamation point. I vote in the college football coaches poll, and I got a lot of grief because I had voted Boise number 10. And we had played Oregon, we had played Michigan State, and I voted Boise 10. Well, the proof's in the pudding, and they went down to the Fiesta Bowl and beat the Sox out of the Arizona Wildcats. And so they were as good as anybody. And so that's a barometer of the quality of play.
Ryan Braun, always a tough out, and now Segura is going to move up on a pitch in the dirt. So it'll be a wild pitch on Bettis. 2 outs. Segura the tying run at third. Braun hit a fly ball to center field his first time. Mike Bobo, new coach at Colorado State. Mike comes from Georgia, obviously, as you well know. Did you have a relationship with him? You got to know him at all?
He's one of the few coaches in our league that I haven't. We met him at our Mountain West Conference meetings. And I do know his head coach that he had worked for at the University of Georgia. He and I sit on our national board, Mark Rick. And, anybody that comes from that program is top shelf. Whoa. Anyone that works in that program is top shelf with a lot of integrity. We've got that's a border war. It's an excellent, it's a great college football game. I believe Root carried it this last year, and Colorado State got the best of us, and we got to right the ship there. But Coach Bobo's comes with a great pedigree of developing quarterbacks, and we'll look forward to facing them on the gridiron. The good news is they're coming to Laramie this next year.
Well, you talk about the class of coaches. Troy Calhoun, what a job Troy did last year, and really for year after year. They had the one hiccup 2 years ago, and they went 10 football games. And down in New Mexico,
Bob Davey.
You got Coach Davey down there. Nice job by Chad Bettis. Coach, I'm going to let you go and enjoy the rest of your afternoon. It's great to see you.
Great seeing you. Thanks for all the exposure.
Absolutely. Craig Bull, the head coach at the University of Wyoming. Ryan Braun to end that inning with Gene Segura at third. Brandon Barnes will lead things off in the bottom of the third with every challenge called. The Subaru Eyesight Review will determine the outcome. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. And this is on the ground at third. Perez has it, 1 out. Chad Bettis will be next. Still looking for his first major league hit. 0 for 27 at the plate. He does have a ribby. You know, I know you had 7 hits, George, because you like to mention that once every season.
I did have 7 hits?
Did you have 7 hits? Is that what we had for him? Or maybe I'm making that up now. Did you have a ribby?
I don't know. Why do you ask all the hard questions?
You had that fly ball to the wall you always tell us about.
Yeah, that was in Philadelphia. I remember that one.
You went into your trot, didn't you?
Thought it was gone. If Luzinski could catch it, you know it wasn't gone.
3 hits, no ribbies in your career.
That's all right.
He gave you 5 more hits than you deserve, or 4 more
all
hits.
right. I'll be happy to take whatever you get.
2-0 on Bettis. 3-0 on Bettis. Look down at Stu Cole. He's giving you the take sign, Chad. You do not have the green light here, even despite the fact that you don't have a knock yet. There's Stu. Look down again. You're going to get the take sign one more time.
You might. Oh, it's cracked me up, Bill. Why are you going to get that? I did have one attempted stolen base, though.
You called timeout.
I did.
Ooh, got the green light. 3-1.
I sure did. Zimmer gave it to me. Of course, I'm not thinking along with them, you know. Bobby Denier's at the plate. You get thrown out. We got Denier leading off the next inning. Okay. Makes sense.
Trying to think of pitchers who could run. Vida Blue could run.
Oh, Vida Blue could do whatever he wanted to. I think he had a grand slam too. Blue did.
Bartolo Colon cannot run.
Nor does he want to.
You know who can really run? Seriously?
Mike Hampton.
Mike Hampton could really run. Aroldis Chapman can fly. I don't think he's going to get many chances to run the bases. Bettis will not get an opportunity to run the bases here. He's gone. That's the second strikeout for Kyle Loesch. I'll bring up Charlie, who lined to right field. His first time up. I've said this a lot, unfortunately, this year, George. The thing that's eluded the Rockies are those innings where, you know, 5 guys in a row reach and you end up with a 5 spot on the board.
Well, that's where you bunch those hits together, and one of them happens to be a big hit. Off the wall, in the gap, that type of thing.
It just seems sporadic, even on the days where the Rockies have scored a decent number of runs, particularly at Coors Field. They haven't had, you know, those innings we've seen so frequently in the past. Corey Little does a great job in media relations for the Rockies. Had a stat that he dug up today. The Rockies and the opposition have scored 5 or more runs in the same game 15 times this year. So, you know, both teams are swinging the bats pretty well, right? Those are games in the past, those slugfest kind of games where the Rockies typically win more than their share, right? This year they're 3-12 in such games.
Crazy.
3-12. Here's Corey on the left, and Warren Miller came from San Diego. Warren has been terrific heading up that department. One and 2 on Charlie. George, Warren is not the ski producer. Warren Miller does. Wishes he was, though. That was a good inning for Lowe's. He struck out Blackman to end the frame. We'll go to the fourth. The Rockies up 1-0.